You know, many people tend to stay indoors a lot, especially probably in Chicago around the winter months. But sometimes it's just to get a break from society. But what happens if we stay inside for too long? Joining us now is the author of Indoor Epidemic, Dr. John Puma. Doctor, good to see you, sir. Thank you for taking the time.
Jake, pleasure to be with you. Great to be back in Chicago. You know, I'm in a hotel room right now looking out at the Kennedy. And people in those cars are exactly who I wrote this book for.
Why do you say that?
Well, you know, we've moved inside as a species. We're spending 93% of our time indoors. Today, we just heard it's going to be a perfect Saturday. It's going to be 80s here. We got 26 miles of lakeshore. People are going to spend our day indoors doom scrolling, eating, doing chores, avoiding going outside, but it is going to be great outside. And what we don't realize is that going outdoors reverses a lot of the medical problems that staying indoors too much is causing. I mean, your body kind of reads that 93% as captivity, pays you back in bad sleep, brain fog, and belly fat. You know, that's a serious problem.
You know, you mentioned, the people staying inside and doom scrolling, and I'm sure that, streaming whatever they're streaming on TV. Is this a fairly new problem? Is this something that really has become occurring since we have been inventing new reasons for us to stay inside?
Jake, you're exactly right. You know, in one generation ago, it was closer to 50-50 indoors, outdoors. Now, 93% of time indoors and 7% of that outdoors. That 93 breaks down to 86% in houses and 7% in vehicles. And in Chicago, we might spend a little more than that in vehicles. But, you know, sitting 10 hours a day indoors makes your DNA 8 years older than your birthday age. And that's not a metaphor. That's the science. That's why I call this book Indoor Epidemic. It's everywhere. The data is overwhelming. I've reviewed over 2,000 studies, and timed and intentional outdoor time improves sleep and mood and metabolism and blood sugar. We just haven't built it into a prescription pad yet, but that's what this book does.
You know, John, I can testify for the people here in Chicago that we really do make an effort to get out during the summer months, because during the winter months, we are all so cooped in all the time, if only because the weather can be so bad. For someone who says, listen, I'd love to be outside, every single day, but when it's negative 10 degrees and you got the wind blowing in off the lake, there's nothing I can do. What do you say to those people who maybe have no choice but to stay inside?
You know, I lived here 16 years, Jake. I love.
Oh, you know then.
Yeah, so I know. Yeah, and I lived in New York for 10 years. I know bad weather. So there were times I couldn't leave my little coach house in Lincoln Park for a day or two because I got snowed in. I get that. We're not asking for craziness here. We're asking for a doorway, a threshold, an open window. We're asking for morning light to reset your circadian rhythm, your body clock that actually controls about 50% of your genes, controls your metabolism, helps you get sleep at night, helps you clean your brain in what's called the glymphatic system that was just discovered in 2013, Nobel given 2017. You have a brainwashing system that doesn't work unless you get 10 minutes of morning light in the first hour or so of being outside. That's when you get deep sleep. It helps you get deep sleep at night when your brain cleaning system works. So if you don't do anything else today, just daytime before screen time, it's a little bit, it's 8:20. So still, you can still do it. Go outside, and before you hit a screen, get 10 minutes of morning light. Walk outside before you look at your phone. The minimum effective dose is just 17 minutes a day to reverse the kind of damage that we're seeing from being indoors too much. So we're not asking for craziness. We're asking for go to a window, open the window if it's too hot, like it might be for some people today, or if it's way too cold in the summer. And that morning light hits the back of your retina, tells your brain what to do for the rest of the day. That's a great signal to start with. It's so easy. There are 200 other ideas in the book about how to do this.
You know, John, we got just about a minute left, but to your point, so my girlfriend is a big, like, hey, let's get outside, let's go for a walk. And since we've been together, we've been, like she gets home from work and we, if anything, just go walk along just for an hour, 45 minutes, just to kind of, and I got to say, man, to your point, I sleep better at night. It also just, I don't know what it does to me mentally, but it kind of just makes me feel. It really does. Something as simple as let's just go for a walk. Really does make a difference.
Harvard did this study of 111,000 people over 34 years. They showed that walking is the single activity that reduces all-cause mortality the most, more than being in the gym, more than tennis, more than soccer, more than anything else. And when you walk with an animal, even better. When you walk with somebody else and an animal, that's a triple. If you walk with a buddy, an animal, and you meet somebody outside because nature is social and that's good for us, that's a home run. And if you don't have a dog, borrow a dog. If you don't have a buddy, borrow a buddy. I mean, this is a powerful tool that we've neglected in medicine that has strong data behind it. And your girlfriend's exactly right. Keep her.
I'm fully aware, trust me. All right, the book is Indoor Epidemic. Dr. John LaPuma, thank you for joining us this morning, sir. We appreciate you.
Pleasure, Jake.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.